That is a person getting into one system they are allowed to touch, with multi-factor at the door. And this is me cutting off everything they can reach in one move. No firewall rule, no certificate to revoke, nobody had to call IT. I ran this whole setup for free, for real, and during my holiday. And there's exactly one moment where free stops being enough. Watch for it, I will show you the precise line. I'm Mark, and let's build. Alright. One idea before we touch a single setting. Forget the old VPN picture, the tunnel that drops you into the office network and just trusts you with everything. But picture a doorman instead. He checks who you are at the door, walks you through exactly one room, and writes down that you went in. That is zero trust access. Identity at the front, one specific thing you can reach instead of the whole network. And of course a record of it. The tool we are using is CloudConnexa, and yes, it's from OpenVPN, but it's an entirely different product from their open source protocol. It's a cloud managed access service, not a point-to-point tunnel. So let's start from nothing. You sign up with a work email or just a Google or Microsoft account. You verified your code and you are in, and it doesn't drop you into a blank dashboard and wish you good luck. It's a little 3-step wizard. First you deploy the connector, you connect the device, and you're done. So let's follow it. OpenVPN sponsored this, but the angle, the build and every opinion are mine. They gave me a free hand. If something falls short, I will say so. There's an entire section near the end on who should not pay for this. The connector needs somewhere to live. On my Proxmox box I spin up a small Ubuntu VM. Nothing fancy, just somewhere for it to run. Then CloudConnexa asks where that connector is going, and it's not just AWS, you can pick a plain Linux box, which is what I'm doing. I choose Linux Ubuntu and the closest region, which for me is Brussels. And here's the neat part, it hands you back a one-line script and a token. That token is how the box proves it's mine, and if you ever regenerate it, the old one dies, so it's a one-time key. You paste that onto the VM, it pulls itself down, installs and registers. And notice what didn't happen? No port forwarding, nothing opened from the outside. The connector reaches out, but the internet never reaches in. Then you name the network that sits behind it, mine is Melman's Labs, and the connector links it up. And that's the whole thing, right there on one screen. The connector is online, the network that is behind it, who is connected and what they can reach. Now the part I didn't expect on a free plan, it's called CyberShield, and it's two things. One, domain filtering, it watches every category of traffic and blocks the bad ones, malwares and the like, straight out of the box. And two, traffic filtering, that is intrusion detection, an IDS running on the same box. And it shows you everything, observed domains, blocked domains, all of it. Both of those are on the free tier, nothing extra to install. And it's all logged, every request, allowed or blocked, with the timestamp, plus an audit log of who changed what. So when someone asks, can you prove it? You actually can. Okay, here's where it starts feeling like a doorman. This is a location rule, and it's like an if this then that. If you are connecting from a country I trust, I allow it. Anything else, I block. Or you can pin it to a specific network, a known IP range, and only that gets in. I called mine Trusted Countries and can watch it allow or deny connection live. And then the machine itself has to pass a check. They call it a device posture. On Windows I set 2, the disk has to be encrypted, BitLocker counts, and it has to be running an antivirus. Fail either one and you don't get in, even with the right login, on the right network. The laptop itself has to be healthy. You set that per operating system, Windows, Mac, Linux, phones. So think about what's stacked up here. Identity at the door, a location you trust, a device that's actually secure, and the log of all of it. That is real zero trust. And every bit of it was free. This is genuinely what was getting me into my lab from a cottage in Brittany. Split tunnel, intrusion detection on, the posture check, the location rule I could watch trigger live. So let me be plain about who this is already enough for. If you are a sole operator, a freelancer or just running your home lab, you can stop right there. This is all you need and I mean it. The link is in the description. So, when does free stop being enough? It's not when it breaks. It's the day you add the one thing it was never built to handle on its own, other people. The moment you hire someone, the job changes. Now you've got people joining and people leaving, and access has to follow who someone actually is. And it has to come off cleanly the day they go. On the free tier, you can do this by hand, one person at a time, and that works until it doesn't, and it won't hold up in an audit, because I'm pretty sure I got everything isn't good enough. So that's the line. A point you grow past, and it's exactly what the next tier is built for. Let me wire it up. First, a heads up. Single sign-on is a paid feature. So this is where I start the 14-day trial. Everything up to now was free. The next bit will need essentials. Now, single sign-on always feels like a lot, but it's just really two systems agreeing on who you are. CloudConnexa gives you each side first. A sign-on URL, a reply URL, and an ID. You take those over to Entra, make a new application and paste them in. And then Entra hands its side back, its own URL, its own ID and a certificate. And that goes into CloudConnexa. That's a whole handshake. Each one holds the other's detail. Then one screen that matters more than it looks, attribute mapping. It's a username, email, name, but the one that does the real work is group. Map that, and someone's Entra group decides what they can reach inside CloudConnexa. So back in Entra, I drop my group onto the app, and that's a join. Put a person in the group and they are in. No group, and they will get nothing. On one machine, the client install is a single command. Winget installs it. After that, you import a profile and you are done, but nobody's hand installing on 50 laptops. So let's push it with Intune. And here's the catch. The one gets people. The installer runs as a system, but the little setting that pre-fills your address has to run as a user. One app can be both, so it's two. App 1 is just the installer, the MSI wrapped for Intune, pushed silently. App 2 is a tiny script that fills in your cloud ID, so people never type a server address. They open the app and it's already there. And you tie them together. App 2 depends on App 1, so the installer always lands first. Now the trap, and I hit it, so you don't have to. There's a detection script that tells Intune, yes, this is installed. Leave it set to 32-bit and it looks into the wrong place. All three scripts are in the block, ready to paste. The only thing you change per company is your cloud ID. So now the joining part runs itself, drops someone in the right Entra group, and the client lands on their machine, already pointed at us, which brings us back to the thing I opened with. Okay, watch this, because this is the trap. I removed them from CloudConnexa directly, so job done, right? Except their company login is still alive. And look, they are still in. This is where people get burned, the bit where everyone assumes access is gone, and it quietly isn't. Here's the fix, and here's the payoff I promise you in the first 10 seconds. You do it once at the identity layer, you move them out of the group, and every door that group opens shuts at the same time. This is the one thing that the free tier can do on its own, and that is the exact moment where free stops being enough. And don't just take the screen's word for it, open the log, check the blocked attempt is actually sitting there. Clicking remove isn't proof, the blocked attempt in the log is. And that line is the thing you show an auditor when they ask. Alright, the real comparison, because this is the part that decides whether you spend a cent, free is generally complete for one person. Essential at $9 is what a team needs. It has single sign-on, so offboarding is a one move, longer log history, streaming into your security tools, and more room in the policies. And to stay fair the other way, Essentials isn't the top either. If you are a big company or in a heavily regulated world that needs longer retention and more, you are looking at the tier above this one. But for most small businesses and the most MSPs, Essential is about as far as you will ever need to go. And on these two, here's the fair version. This handles access control, who can reach what, plus multi-factor and keeping the connection secure, and the logging backs up your incident handling, and proving your control actually works. What it doesn't do is back up your data or patch your systems, or train your people. So here's what we built. We have identity at the front, access pointed at one thing instead of the whole network, and everything is logged. We have the free tier that's for one person and generally enough, and the day you've got a team, you have access that follows identity and comes off in a single move and leaves a trail you can point to. And think about what that actually is. If you run IT for a small company or you are an MSP, this isn't just tidier, it's something you can put in front of an auditor and say, here, this is handled, with the logs to back it up. And it starts at nothing and grows when you do. So, if you want this to be a skill and not a one-off, I built a free learning path on Melma's Labs that walks you through securing remote access for a small setup. Link is in the description. Access is one piece of it. The bit right next to it is the identity and the device side. The tenant I built in this demo we will set up together in a Setup Microsoft 365 like an MSP video. That will be coming soon, and that's what makes the offboarding you just watched actually hold. I'm Mark, build the doorman, not the tunnel, and I will see you in the next one.